We've managed to re-establish that line with prisoner rights activist Golden Miles Budu about the former president heading to jail. He's supposed to present himself before the SAPS in Nkandla in Johannesburg before Sunday. Mr. Budu, I hope you can hear me now. I was asking about the statement that you sent out. What message are you sending out to the former president? Mr. Budu, can you hear? I'm asking about the statement that you sent out. What is the message you're sending to the former president?
Well, one can never celebrate the incarceration of any human being, including the former president himself. What we are calling as a prisoners' rights organization 27 years down the line is that there is laws, rules, and regulations here in this country, and we must respect these rules and laws and regulation regardless of who you are. And we are also calling and pleading with him that he must restrain his supporters. We know that he's got thousands and thousands of people behind him. He must restrain them. He must plead with them that they must stay home the day he and his family go and hand himself over to the law enforcement agencies. He must do that as a man and try to, in fact, regain his Zuma that we knew. You know, he must go there, stand in a queue, and like any other sentenced prisoner, and greet prisoners, greet correctional officers, and be, you know, friendly with them so that they go into the system, pay his dues to the community, and get involved in what is happening behind bars so that he gets a taste of what is really happening in our prisons 27 years down the line. And he must keep away these opportunists, because amongst them who call them members and supporters and followers and admirers of Jacob Zuma would be people who are opportunistic and want to see rebellion in this country and want to see law and order scattering all over the place. We are pleading with him so that he comes out there and do the unbelievable, do what nobody will believe he would be able to do, and that is to humble himself, go in there, pay his dues to the community, come out there a law-abiding, productive, and useful citizen, and maybe call on Miles Budu whilst he's inside there so that we change the face of the conditions and treatment under which sentenced and unsentenced prisoners are incarcerated in our country.
What role do you think he can play, for instance, as you say, in championing the rights of prisoners? And maybe he can use his privilege and status. What can he use that for?
Look, for now, he's got a responsibility, a very short and simple responsibility, and to show all of us that the law in this country works. He can go in there and ask for the Constitution, because the rights of prisoners are embedded in Chapter 2 of the Bill of Rights, Section 35, subsection 2, paragraph E, and say, look, I'm one of them today. Where is the Constitution? Where is the Correctional Services Act? Where is the White Paper? Where is the United Nations Declaration for the treatment and conditions under which prisoners are incarcerated? And put emphasis and make the paper worth these rights of sentenced and unsentenced prisoners are part of, you know, because currently the rights of prisoners is not worth the paper it is written on. Now, we are calling on him as a former president who once upon a time said, not so long ago, that he's not afraid of imprisonment, he's not afraid of prison. He has been there on the island, Robben Island. He served almost 10 years fighting for the very democracy that sends him to prison today.
All right. There are questions that have been asked around the treatment that the former president is going to get. Do you think he's going to get some special treatment? I mean, we know we are all equal before the law, but this is a former president we're talking about here, and we've seen how some prominent people who go to prison are treated.
Well, he must resist any preferential treatment. It must come out of him, and that will make history all over the world, over and over again, that he went into prison and resisted to be treated like a former president, resisted to be treated like Gedlehlekisa Nxamalala Zuma. It must come out of him and say to prison warders, treat me like any other offender, please. Don't give me preferential treatment because I am not a superhuman being. I have made a mistake and I'm prepared to be apologetic. I'm prepared to show remorse and I'm prepared to come out a better citizen and show the whole world that if you've committed a crime and if you arrest a charge and the state has proven its case beyond the reason of the doubt, then you must just go in there and do your time like any other sentenced offender or prisoner and be a man. And if he is not going to resist preferential treatment, of course he will be treated with kid gloves.
All right. And parole, what does the Correctional Services Act say about parole? When will he be eligible for parole if he starts his sentence on Sunday?
I mean, if he is going to say to them, look, I understand how the parole system works. If I don't know, please teach me, workshop me, give me a crash workshop. Because my understanding as a former president is that you must do half of your sentence, and then thereafter you must be assessed by a parole board that will go into your file that has been prepared, what is called from inside the CMC. These are people or correctional officers who watch your behavior, your body language, who watch your attitude since you've been there and write reports. And those reports go in front of the parole board, and then the parole board will be able to, in fact, take a decision based on what it is written in your file, how you have conducted and behave yourself whilst you're doing your time. He must not say, look, I want to go home tomorrow because it's cold here and it is right in the belly of the beast, I don't belong here. He must just, one day at a time, he must take it. Take a day at the time, and in fact, become a prisoner's rights within, and call on Miles Budu to come and visit him so that I could rub shoulders with him again. Because you remember once upon a time, we and myself campaigned when he was charged, arrested, and was dragged in front of the South Gauteng High Court for rape.
Okay.
And I went there and I said, no, he's the one that was raped. He never raped anybody. And he know me from somewhere, and maybe we can resuscitate and relive those days when I was close to the former president.
Oh, so, all right, thank you for your time. So it's about rubbing shoulders with him then, from what I'm hearing from you. Thank you for making time to chat to us. Golden Miles Budu is a prisoner rights activist. I was looking at that Correctional Services Act. If the former president is going to be serving about 15 months imprisonment, he would be eligible for parole, possibly in less than 4 months, according to the Correctional Services Act. And the Act states that an offender who is serving a determinate sentence or cumulative sentence of not more than 24 months may not be placed on parole for day parole until such offender has served either the stipulated non-parole period, or if no non-parole period was specified, a quarter of the sentence. So this means then that it could be possible that if the former president starts by the beginning of July, which is on Sunday, then he may be eligible for parole around late September.